This is part 2 of my presentation. We have several community groups that support KSD. We have school organizations, a parent staff organization that is fairly small because many parents live far away. There's a small number of parents and staff from our school who live locally who meet once a month to support this. We have an academic bowl team, an ASL bowl team, and an oratorical speech team. We have athletic department and a Jackrabbit club that is run by the dormitory. We have community organizations that are very involved with the deaf school, including the Olathe Club for the Deaf, Kansas Association of the Deaf, Sertoma, Optimus International, Purple and Sorensen, which are video phone companies, Keller Williams, and other businesses in the community, and local churches with deaf ministries. We are strongly influenced by the state legislature, the Board of Education Administration, Kansas National Education Association, and the Center for Educational Administrators of Schools for the Deaf. All of these have a strong influence on our policies. Parents and students also have a lot of power. Their concerns or their issues are addressed. We have Schools for the Deaf have a strong leadership in the community. The National Association of the Deaf actually guides many of the policies in the nation, and Schools for the Deaf follow them. We have Colleges for the Deaf that have research institutes. Their research has a major impact on how we do things at our school. KSD is considered one of the top schools of the deaf in the nation. Many people look up to the school, and many schools copy some of the models that we have established here. Outside of the school, our superintendent is the strongest leader. She interacts with the community, the legislature, the board, but our assistant superintendent does a lot of the work inside of the school as well as supporting the superintendent. She does a lot of the internal administration. Our leadership style, KSD has a bottom-up approach, not exactly a top-down approach. Many times our teachers are the ones who come up with ideas and they start to implement them with the approval of the administration. The administration does not exactly develop all the program ideas and assign people to implement them. It kind of comes around the other way. Many leadership roles fall upon people who volunteer or step up and say, I really think this program would be useful, and they go ahead and do it. We have several teachers and staff who take on these roles. They're not required, they're mostly voluntary. For our community and the deaf community, to be a leader, you have to have several characteristics. Most of the time, a leader of the deaf community has to grow up within the deaf community. They often have attended a school for the deaf, not always. They are knowledgeable about the community and about the culture. They're very up to date with what's going on in the community. They have a background in deaf education, and they know what research has been happening out there. They are strong bilingual. They have to be fluent in ASL and in English. They have a strong rapport in dealing with legislature or with organizations who deal with legislatures. They share information and they communicate with the community. They do vlogs, or they attend workshops, they attend events. They are actively and visually available. They take action and they're hands-on. They're passionate and spend time with members of the community. KSD is funded by the state. It costs about $9 to $10 million per year to run KSD and provide all of its services. This includes the school building, salaries, instructional, residential, and outreach programs. The budget has been cut in the past few years and continued to face cuts, yet the administration's done a great job of developing creative solutions. They try their best to make sure jobs are not cut. Instead, they restructure and reorganize the programs and the positions at KSD. KSD has different budgets. The state provides money that is to be allocated to different specific areas. We have a budget for construction. We have a budget for the instructional area. We have a budget for the cafeteria. We have different budgets that we have to follow. The student school district also help out. They are responsible for some costs. They have to do transportation, and if they want students to attend summer school, there is a cost for that as well. As for politics, politics plays a large role on KSD's survival. In order for KSD to survive, we must maintain a good relationship with the legislature and with the board. KSD has to remain in a positive light. If we do not maintain this relationship and help the board and all to understand why KSD is necessary and how it provides benefit to our students, it will not survive. There are many schools out there that are struggling to survive and many schools that have shut down, often because they have not developed a strong relationship and shared this knowledge with legislature. In the past and still today, there's debate on many issues. For example, there's a debate on the least restrictive environment. Many say least restrictive environment should happen within a mainstream school. Students should be placed in that environment and accommodation should be provided to make them fit in. However, when they don't have access to language all of the time, or they don't have all their needs met, or they're not able to socialize all the time, there's still restriction there for them. So we believe KSD to be the actual least restrictive environment for our students. ASL education versus oral education is a huge debate though. Insurance coverage is also an issue. Insurance is covering cochlear implants. They're not covering other auditory needs of students. So many students, instead of attending a school for the deaf, their parents are going out and getting cochlear implants through insurance coverage, and many of those doctors say don't let them sign, they have to talk. So parents do not send them, and later on they realize that their child is missing a lot, so they end up transferring at a late age, and they've missed out on a lot of education. Laws related to deaf education and deafness have an impact on KSD's enrollment, and also on what KSD can do for deaf and hard of hearing individuals throughout the state. Organizations and agencies are working hard to make sure that the bills passed will benefit our deaf and hard of hearing kids. All these bills, all these politics have a strong impact on how KSD runs and who attends KSD. KSD has a diverse student body. There are several students from various races. For many students, these differences are not a concern at all. Many students who are deaf are already in a minority, so people of a minority just bond together. They share the deaf minority trait, so other minority traits just fall into the background. There are no gang associations at our school, no intentional discrimination or cliques. Many issues that do arrive at the school or tensions that arise within the student body actually come from two areas. First of all, many students need social skills instruction. They grew up where they were not able to see how people interact or resolve issues. So they need to be directly taught how to interact with one another appropriately. Once this happens, the tension reduces. There's also an issue of students having too much time together. Students are almost like siblings because they're together 24/7. They go to school together, they go to the dorm together, they basically live together almost all of the time. So they've developed those relationships, but there are tensions, almost like brother and sister relationships, that are brought into the school. There's information that can be found related to the deaf community. Many times parents get information through enrollment, through our outreach department, through IEP meetings. They do not often come to the school because they live pretty far away. KSD followed a great accreditation process that is different from other schools. We don't want to be accredited on just our academic or instructional programs. We want to be accredited as a deaf school because we want to be sure our dorm programs, athletic programs, everything are strength. So we go through the Conference of Educational Administrators of Schools and Programs for the Deaf. The website is provided. We also can look up research related to deaf education and current trends. These websites are also provided. This information is a nice additional resource. KSD power structures are pretty unique. There is a hierarchy, an obvious hierarchy that exists at KSD. You can see the progression from staff, just regular staff, instructional staff, dorm staff, and then administration. However, the hierarchy is not exactly followed and lines become blurred. Many would consider us to have a shared leadership program. Teachers lead committees and programs, and they report to the administration so that the administration can be aware of what's going on. Administration does not make decisions without teacher input. This impacts standard number 3, which basically states that there is distributed leadership. Our teachers and administration work pretty well together. Sometimes the administrators have so many responsibilities, so they're not able to see smaller issues. So power from administrators ends up in the hands of teachers. It's okay sometimes, and other times the need for that to be fixed. Parents and students have gotten a lot more power over the last couple of years. The power keeps shifting, and over the next couple of years, I'm afraid that power is going to lie directly in the hands of parents and students. We do not have uniform. Dress code is pretty flexible. Students receive multicultural projects within social studies and history courses. They read cultural literature and reading courses. We have a group of students who are selected to attend a county-wide diversity day each year. They go for the day and come back and share this information and share activities they've learned with students at our school. We strongly respect student cultures and staff cultures. We share freely. Students are also involved in a grant-supported character education program. This Standard 5 states that students are able to get students are able to have appropriate ethical behavior, appropriate diversity. There's a sense of democracy, and they do get this at our school through these programs and through these opportunities. There's always a concern that KSD may not survive because deaf schools are frequently shut down, and there is this trend going on. There's this worry. We maintain strong ties with the legislature and the board. They visit every year to receive information and interact with our students and staff. We have the job of making sure the legislature understands our need for the deaf kids in our school. We have to have a deep understanding of deaf educational bilingualism and language acquisition theory so that they're able to make decisions that best support and impact our school and students. This relates to standard number 6, which says we need to make sure we influence decisions that affect student learning, and the board truly does this.